Where the fuck is McClay?
Action.
Awesome. This is the Bogcast, episode 85. I'm your host, Keith Obit, with my co-host, Brian McClay. We are brought to you by Bang Salon. Come get all your hair needs, including cuts, natural colors, vivid colors, extensions, shampoo and stylings, all under one roof at Bang Salon. Find and message Bang Salon on Instagram at Bang Salon, at BANGDSALON. Use promo code
Bogcast
for 20% off your first visit. So come on down and get banged by Jordan. But if you really try to bang her, fucking kill you. Cool.
Check us out on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, all your famous favorite podcatchers, and make sure to like and subscribe and comment. Let us know what we're doing, and hit us up about. We got some new stickers. We got all kinds of new cool stuff. Hit us up if you want some. We'll get some. Send some your way. Shirts and stuff soon. So be on the lookout for that stuff. And yeah, hit us up. Leave a follow on our Instagram at thebogcast.
Sweet. So with the podcast that we started this last February of 2019, and I don't think before the podcast you were as into social media as you have been because of the podcast, and maybe all the podcasts.
No, you're
on.
No, you're 100% right.
You didn't give a fuck about it before.
Not at all.
But you're into the social media. You finally make a post and you get a little backlash.
Listen.
With
All right.
one of the backlash being your own mom.
All right, we got some fun stuff to talk about, but we also got some serious stuff to talk about. Like, this is gonna be a bog nasty episode. So,
well, explain what the bog nasty is first.
Bog nasty. Shout out to Pink Whitney. Shout out to Spittin' Chicklets podcast. The Bogcast is Pink Whitney mixed with the unofficial drink of the Bogcast, Squirt Soda.
Very odd to see you drinking.
It's very odd to see me drinking soda right now too, right?
You wear a shirt of the soda.
Yeah, I know. But I haven't.
It's not weird at all.
I haven't been drinking soda at all, except for a couple on the show every once in a while.
Oh, okay.
Can I see you later? All right. So here's how we're gonna start this.
Well, because I know
right.
you have something you want to get off your chest.
Yeah. I don't think there's ever also been a time where I've like hit you up before a show, being like, I've got something I gotta say.
True. Yeah, you haven't, and I think it's hilarious because you shouldn't take any social media seriously, especially yours, and especially if you read what the post was. Am I high? Because we were super high when we fucking posted that. Well, you posted it, but
that's why I put "Am I high?" because I was super high. And excuse me, cannabis cough.
Cannabis cough. Editor's note: every cough from here on out is a cannabis cough. So we do not have the COVID.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So, here's what happened. Obviously, we have all this crazy bullshit going on. I don't want to, not say the man's name, George Floyd, before, I go on and talk about it. I've heard a couple people say the same thing. Say that man's name first, George Floyd, before we say anything, and that was a complete injustice. And that day, I don't follow the news. Keith knows this. I don't follow the news. I haven't had cable TV or any type of TV other than YouTube in 10 years. So
yeah, but usually you are on top of things as far as what's going on.
I used to be when I had a daily, like when I had my government or my my hamster wheel job, because
I see
because that's how I wasted my time. You know what I mean?
Sense.
You would hear some Yahoo come in and talk about this way and another person this way, and I was always the guy that's like, hey, I'm down for conversation as long as it stays conversation. Let's have a constructive conversation here. And I used to love talking about politics and religion, and I kept it civil with most people, and if it wasn't civil, we wouldn't talk, and I would say no,
But when you had come over that day, I forgot what we were doing, but I had assumed you already knew all of that.
We had a
shit.
podcast.
Oh yeah. So like it was hours later when I realized you hadn't known about the anonymous shit, which to me, you're usually telling me about this shit.
Yes.
That's why I find that odd.
I didn't know about all the rioting.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the rioting. Like I heard shit was going crazy for my brother, but I didn't know about the rioting and
this was the night of the day after the
Logan
Scottsdale
and the Jake Paul shit. I didn't know about any of that shit, and that's kind of what set it off. So we do a podcast. We have a great podcast. Shout out David Wimberly. If you guys haven't seen that show yet, it's episode 84. Amazing show. Awesome guest. Shout out David Wimberly, and make sure you guys go and patron the Georgian Dragon. So. Okay, so again, we have a great show, great podcast, and after the show, we're just chilling, hanging out, and you go, dude, you're not going to believe the shit that happened with Anonymous. And, well, actually, sorry, before the show, you go, dude, you're not going to believe the shit happened with Jake Paul. And then David showed up, so we didn't get into it. So, and then after the show, you go, dude, you wouldn't believe what's going on with fucking Anonymous. And I'm like, hold on, dude, I don't even know what's going on with Jake Paul yet. So you explain the Jake Paul shit to me, and I'm like, fucking mind blown. Like, what the fuck? That's what a crazy moment for him to be down there. And then he drops a fucking bomb on me, and he goes, dude, Anonymous dropped some fucking major news this morning, and I can't find it anywhere on Instagram or Twitter. Like, people are saying they're deleting the post.
Yeah, so really quick, that was the most insane day I've ever had on social media ever. As far as when I had woke up Sunday morning, Epstein was trending and Anonymous was trending. And it was all about the documents released as far as them hacking the Minnesota Police Department, tying Epstein and Donald Trump to a rape of a 13-year-old girl.
Over five, there was 5 court cases where Anonymous said that he gave them money to shut him up, and they were all rape of girls under the age of 13. What the fuck? Like that's crazy.
So I was just doing a deep dive before the podcast, just going, holy shit, just reading all these crazy documents, like, what? This is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Then we do the podcast, and then when I tell you all this shit, we both start, trying to find it. And not only is it not trending, when I searched it and found it, everyone's going, oh my God, these Twitter's deleting these tweets, keep retweeting. And I was like, what the fuck? That's crazy. And then that's when we watched the Anonymous video.
So Anonymous, the Anonymous video that I chose to use for the post.
Hang on a second. Explain who Anonymous is for people who don't know, because some people might not even know what the fuck we're talking about.
Okay, so here's the deal. Anonymous is this like shadowy, no-name group of vigilante hackers that consider themselves good people to go and like fight the system that the elites are pushing on us. And they were the ones that helped with WikiLeaks and all that stuff. That the Podesta emails that fucked Hillary, all that stuff. I think they
exposed a lot of motherfuckers.
They exposed a lot of motherfuckers. When all the pedophile shit was going down, they were exposing motherfuckers left and right. Listen, I am not saying they're a good group or a bad group. It's nothing in this world is black and white. There's gray in between. They've done some good things. They've done some questionable things, but they've also done some good things. You cannot not say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
then they kind of disappeared for a long time. Like no one knew where.
They basically made a TV show about him.
Yeah, Mr. Robot. Yeah, one of the greatest shows of all time.
Yeah.
And they used the same fucking
Vendetta
mask.
That's another reason why we were so stoked. We were like, holy shit, this is really going down like fucking Mr. Robot style.
Well, not just that, but the fucking literally the script for V for Vendetta with the fucking virus, the fucking what's the name of the mask that the Anonymous wears? Mr. Robot does Monopoly.
The
but,
mask is Guy Fawkes, the guy who tried to blow up the queen or the king.
Doesn't Anonymous wears that, right?
Yeah, and that's who Anonymous uses the V for Vendetta mask because of V for Vendetta.
So when this video drops, I'm like, we were high as fuck. I'm like, are we in a fucking movie right now? This is V for Vendetta.
Yes.
And then all these riots are going. It was just like a crazy, stressful, stony day.
It was fucking crazy. But you guys, here's the craziest part. The craziest part is that when we were looking at it, like me and Keith are looking like, oh my God, this is fucking crazy. And we were so pumped. Like, not pumped that it was like that what they were releasing, but like this crazy shit was actually happening. And we had just had a podcast where David Wimberly said, this is a crazy world we live in right now. Stop and take and smell the roses and like realize how crazy it is. And that was one of the things. So we were just like, oh my God, this is nuts. So I instantly go on Instagram and I grab what I thought was the same video we were watching of just the anonymous guy talking, and underneath it had the
Was it not the video that we watched that you posted?
So here's what it was. It was okay. So the original video we watched was the anonymous guy. It was the original video anonymous release, where it was the anonymous guy with the Guy Fawkes mask, and it had like green writing. It type had been like a light over his face, like hitting him like a camera system type thing, or what do they call it? A projector. And it was like these green type going over his face, and the anonymous voice, the robotic voice, and it was talking about the injustices of the Minneapolis Police Department and how people were protesting because they were so angry, and this and that, and anonymous was helping, and anonymous had stated that they had hacked the Minneapolis Police Department, but all it showed, the whole video, was just the anonymous guy. The video that I released, the first part of it is just the anonymous guy talking, and then it starts showing, when it starts talking about the police violence, it starts showing videos of the actual violence.
So someone else edited it?
Yeah. So it shows like, the cops kicking a guy in the face, and
did you not realize that?
I didn't realize that at first, okay? And you brought this up earlier today because I told you this, started to tell you the story, and you're like, maybe you posted the wrong video, and I'm like, let me go and check. And I don't know if that's the reason. Even if that is the reason for what I'm about to say, it's still kind of stupid. Because if you know me, if you're my friend, especially my mom, my mother, you know that I am, against violence, period. I am like, if anybody out there who's using anything to go perform any act of violence, go fuck yourself forever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not down with that at all. And I'm definitely not down with fucking good cops getting fucked up because of this type of shit. I am, I have some pretty outrageous views, but I'm always up for a conversation to change those views. I'm always up for that conversation. But if we're going to have a conversation, we got to play devil's advocate sometimes. So here's what happened. I post the video. Boom. I get a message from a couple old friends.
Personal message?
No, not personal messages. Comments onto the post. One of them, a young man who, a big part of my life, I consider him almost kind of like a son to me, and who I've known since he was 8 years old, who is a police officer, posted underneath this saying, you've known a police officer for 8 years and you still, think it's okay to post this shit about people who are threatening my life, thinking I was posting this to incite violence. Dan, I wouldn't, that's not me. So that's one thing. Second thing, my own mother was like, Bryan, you can't believe this stuff. Come on, Mom, get real. Get real. I was posting up there because that shit's crazy scary. But here's the other part. For people who don't think that you should not see that stuff, you should see that stuff for every bad video we post, we need to post a good video. Like the video I posted right after, before these comments were even on my time stream, I posted this video right after of that cop in Flint, where they all took their helmets off and set the batons down. We're like, we're part of this community. We love this community. We don't want to see the young children and people out here with dogs getting hurt. So we're going to put our batons down. We're going to take off the riot gear and walk with you like humans. Mm-hmm. I posted that shit right after, because that's the type of shit we need to see. We need to see the good and bad. Whether you're a cop or not, I know Dan, okay? I know you, Dan. I know you're a good cop, a good man, so I know you're a good cop. But let's be honest, I don't know these other cops. I've always had this thought in my mind that one of the things they need to do about cops, and again, I'm not a cop. I don't know a lot about the police force. So again, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's change people's minds. Let's inform people. Hit me up. I'm all ears. But here's the part I'm going to is that I don't know a lot of other cops. So cops, I feel like, need to go back to that thing where they patrol the neighborhood they grew up in. Because that way people know them. They know the type of person they are, and the cops know the people that they're helping around them. So then they can trust each other a little better. But I'll be honest, like there's cops making bad names for good cops out there. So because I don't know, I'm instantly going to my first thought is when I see a cop is I need to get the fuck away from here. Not because he's necessarily a bad cop. I don't know. I just don't want to be around and get myself in a predicament, including the fucking protesters. No offense. You're all good with protesting, but if I'm out there protesting, I'm protesting away from where all the cops are. I'm finding a place where I don't have to deal with all those cops because I don't know. Again, I don't know what's going on. These poor guys are out there, hot as fuck in these uniforms. They're constantly being aggravated. These fucking piece of shit people are out there inciting violence against them.
Let's not get it wrong. It's one of the toughest jobs in the world.
It is.
And it takes a certain kind of individual to even want to do that job. And we need those individuals. And we both have a lot of respect for that.
But let's be honest, it also brings individuals to the job who also want to abuse that power. This is a funny joke that they talk about cops, that most cops are the guys in high school that, were the dickheads, you know what I mean? And now they're out there.
Or they got picked on and they want to fucking.
Yes, yeah. And yeah, that's a stereotype, but stereotypes are there for a reason.
True that.
They're there for a reason. So, that's just how it is. There's bad cops. I've talked to a lot of good cops that have complained to me about how, at the time when we were talking years ago, how shitty and fucked up the force was, how racist the force was at that time. I don't know what the inner workings of the force is anymore. I don't know if it's good, if it's bad, if you guys trust your bosses, if you trust your politicians. But there is nothing better than seeing the videos of these cops and these neighborhoods getting together. And we need more of those. And I really feel bad for the cops out there. But if we're going to be honest, there are also cops that are sullying your name. You good cops, they're sullying your name. So now, unfortunately, you're going to have to do better. You're going to have to make it more of an effort to say, hey, I'm here with this community. And that's going to be hard to do. I feel bad for them because it's going to be damn hard to do now.
Because it's going to have to kind of be calling each other out, right?
Yeah, well, here's part of the problem. At some point in life, we've talked about this before on the show, and we've talked about it in our conversations. At some point in life, in a conversation or a relationship, you have to decide to take an L in order to better the relationship or better the conversation. At certain times, it's time to back off and go, you know what? You're right. Let's work together. And it's hard for cops and military people to do that because they are trained to do it a certain way. And that's the problem. But here's the scary thing. We just saw today that I think I saw a thing that said all four cops are arrested. They're being charged with second-degree murder. Listen, I had a hard time watching that video once, yet alone twice. I'm not going to watch that video again. But if any of those cops, just think about those cops who were there, who didn't say anything while it was happening, who now are probably going to go to prison because they didn't speak up or say something because in their head they were fighting with their thoughts thinking, do I need to say something? Should I say something? I guarantee two of those guys had to have said, I need to stop this. At least had the thought, all right? But then their training kicks in and says, hold on, I can't do that. Or, this is my career, da-da-da. Well, now it's not only your career, it's that man's life. It's your life, your job, the people that work with you around the world in your profession. It sucks, man. It really sucks. And what
really sucks is, you're talking about how you don't trust cops and, we're two white dudes.
Exactly.
I couldn't imagine being a black man in fucking America, that would.
That's why I won't speak on what it's like to be a black man
exactly,
if I don't have to, because I will never understand that. So I'm going to do my best and not sound as corny as possible by trying my best not to speak on that, right? I will never understand what it's like to not be a super white man. because that's what I am. I am fucking see-through transparent.
We can be honest with our relationship with cops. I mean, since growing up, I mean, we've never honestly had a great one because we've always kind of teetered that line of, you know, drugs and, you know, like back then trying to smoke weed was like fucking
you had
crack,
to go hide
cocaine
in
at the
shadows.
same time. So we're like constantly trying to dodge the cops and things like that. But I'm sure our white privilege has gotten us away with all kinds of things, dude. You know what I'm saying? And
well, not only that, here's a crazy thing.
And I'm not proud of that or anything like that. I'm just being honest. You know?
Here's a first world white kid problem, right? Remember when we were young, before we kind of got into that phase, but when we were young, we would see it. When we would see a cop, we felt like we were okay. Because we were taught, you know, growing up in a middle-class suburban white kid neighborhood, you know, I mean, it wasn't all white, but it was majority white. And we always were taught, hey, you know, when you see a cop, it's a good thing. And so when we were kids, young kids, we would see a cop, we'd wave to him, hello. Now, like, cops, I don't even know.
I'm afraid they're going to shoot my dog.
I got to be
honest.
You know
what I mean?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah,
that is my number one fear.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Because this is just honesty, guys.
Yeah, there's one of the worst things you can do is just read the news. But, you know, sometimes you just go on those deep dives of what's going on and you realize first of all, they're just human. They're just people. That's what you got to understand, first of all. And then they have all these powers and fucking weaponry and shit, and they're going in these fucking crazy-ass situations. Some of them are going to be trigger-happy and shit, you know what I mean? And my dog he looks like a big, huge, fucking mean-ass wolf, but he's the sweetest thing ever.
He's a furball.
But if he came in, they came in or something, and he acted like just...
His instinct took over?
He has his bark when, like, you know, an Amazon guy comes. That sounds pretty fucking mean. But, like, sometimes I wonder, like, if it was a cop or something, they'd probably shoot that mother. He'd shoot him, you know?
Yeah. And that's the problem. That's like how, and the reason that's a problem that it's like that is because of how amplified.
And I'm not trying to
is.
complain or saying that's something I'm worried about because, like, you know,
it's just honest.
Yeah,
it's being honest. Yeah. That's another thing. Like I live my truth, so like I'm gonna speak my truth too.
Yeah.
And like I said, my
I just want to put it in perspective as far as I know there are way more things to worry about with the police than what I'm talking about, but that's what I'm trying to bring. My point is to I just can't imagine, you know, what they have to, you know, dealing with that kind of shit.
I think this is kind of funny just because I got a little angry over something that on both sides was probably a misunderstanding. I misunderstandingly put that post up, not realizing it would incite.
Are you gonna leave it up?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it up because it's up. If they want, they can come. I'll put a thing on here to come listen to episode 85 of the fucking Bogcast.
You didn't. I didn't actually go through the comments section. Matter of fact, I can't wait to go through it because there's nothing better while you're taking a shit to read some good fucking Facebook drama. You're just like, oh, there's more comments? Yeah. Especially, well, I know you and, you know, but especially when it's like people you don't really know and they're fucking fighting. You're like, oh, shit.
but here, perfect example. Like, because it was people that I know, it was two dear friends and my own mom. I was more apt at being nice.
What did your mom say?
My mom, I should probably pull it out and read it, but you know, my mom was like My mom was like, "Oh no, Brian, you don't want to believe this." Da da da. And you know, but two dear friends like who know, and my mom who know, they know me. So, but it also made it easier for me to be like, nice and say, hey, you know, check it out, guys. I think you're misunderstanding me. If it was a nobody saying that to me, I probably would have got angry and would have been like, go fuck yourself.
But also, this kind of shows of the state of what bullshit social media is. So, like, say someone else posted that you know, you might have been like, what the fuck? Why is so-and-so posting this? Like, that doesn't make sense, but you didn't realize, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you kind of got to understand where they're coming from.
And that's why we're talking about it, because I think it's something that is interesting to talk about right now. Listen, we know right and wrong. There's right and wrong, and most of us in this country have been taught that. I know neighborhoods don't raise the young anymore, and I know it's hard for communities to come together, but I think that the majority of us know that right and wrong, and violence like that and ridiculous looting and even putting yourself in a situation to be the person to get the shit kicked out of you is ridiculous. Like, I saw certain things where a guy jumped out of a fucking car on a crowded freeway and started pointing a bow and arrow at people. Did you not think you were going to get your fucking ass kicked, you dumb motherfucker? And why would you even put yourself in that position to hurt somebody or then have to hurt somebody?
I thought that too, but maybe what happened the few minutes before, maybe he had no choice.
You're right.
And all they had was an arrow.
Yes.
And he's like, fuck.
Yes.
I might have done the same thing. And all they got, so it kind of looks like he just took the arrow out and started. But I don't know. I don't know the backstory.
It's on my Instagram, brother. A perfect example is...
Wait, what post is it?
It's on my Instagram.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here, I'll pull it out. So anyways, like... I forget what I was just saying. Oh, here's the craziest part. And you're exactly right. How many videos have we seen in the last 3 or 4 days where the first time we see it, we're like, oh, fuck that motherfucker. And then we see another video that has more of the backstory or more
just
of the
like
beginning
that kid with the magnet hat
exactly.
in fucking Washington.
Exactly. Just like the
like
kid.
That.
Yeah.
Got
just
shit
like that.
on. Everyone fucking shit on
and
him.
We changed our views. So we have, like, nothing in this world is black and white. Everything is gray, including to me, like, sometimes when you break certain laws, like, sometimes you have to do things. It's okay to do certain things. I hate to say that, but nothing in this world is black and white. Nothing ever to me is black and white. Like, there's only one thing that's black and white to me, and that's truth. But that's all inner monologue shit. So again, we have to teach how powerful truth is and how much easier it is to live a truthful life. One, you don't have to fucking lie and worry about your lies anymore. Like, you don't have to, and if you're a good person, like, you really are willing to change your mind, then I think that starts a good conversation. It starts a good dialogue. So, but anyways.
So you got that off your chest, you think?
I don't know. I really hope that those people go back and, or at least hear this and or saw what I said and be like, yeah, I get it. Because some my two friends were really fucking, Dan and Corey were really fucking pissed. So.
Did you unfriend them?
No.
I'm just kidding. So, anyway.
Yeah, it was crazy. But, we were talking today. God, COVID-19, this whole COVID shit's out the window. Like,
well, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Like,
because we went all these places trying to, hand out stickers and shit, and you can't even get into Chiba Hut. We couldn't get into Stinkweeds. I understand they're trying to be safe, but it's still not back to normal.
Yeah.
So
basically my post was that video, and I said, am I too high? Is this shit really real? It is, right? And then I put hashtag the Bogcast, hashtag I told you so, hashtag sativa for pussies, hashtag really real, hashtag V for vendetta. Okay. And that I told you so shit was like me being a comic book nerd and putting in the V for vendetta shit. Maybe, I don't know if they took that I told you so thing as something different. But like Dan, young Dan, who is the police officer, said, what's unfortunate is there are cops you've known since they were 8 years old, yet you're still advocating a blind assault on my life. That one hit me in the fucking chest, bro. Like, fuck, man. And so, I shot him back a thing. I said, dude, I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying that video is a good thing. So hopefully he listens to this. My own mom said, holy shit, son. No, this is our future. If we don't start making these cops accountable, God help us. So was she taking it the other way? Like, how was she taking it? Like, I don't know. Was she giving me shit? Yeah, I need to talk to her. And then Corey was like, dude, Mac, I love you, but you are too high. My whole life I've been on the wrong side of the law, and you know that. We need cops. You're showing clips of the 5% of shitty cops. You don't have enough time to show the footage of piece of shit criminals killing innocent people. Wait, they're doing that right now on TV. Please stop your bullshit, and this is coming from an ex-criminal. And I said, whoa, Nelly, I'm not advocating for them. I'm saying it's scary as shit with like 2 beers clanging, Like, and I think he gets that, but I think it's a really volatile time. You know what I mean? Like, but again, here's a perfect example. It's so volatile. We need to be speaking up, not putting a black thing over our thing. is that a wrong thing to say? I'm not saying I don't want to put a black thing over my Facebook and not
That doesn't do shit.
and not post anything the whole day when there were so many major things that were happening that we should be talking about.
Exactly,
We should be
yeah.
talking about Hillary Clinton testifying in front of whatever she testified. We should be talking about the primaries that are going on. We should be talking about the fucking Antifa and fucks and the antagonists on the far right that are using these protests and sullying the name of these people by going out and dropping pallets of bricks off to throw through. You know, when you see videos like we were talking with someone today about what it's like having a business down in downtown Phoenix while it's going on. Shout out to Bud's Glass Joint. Make sure you guys go patronage their shops. They have one on Grand and 15th Ave. Is that what it is? And on and another
15th
one,
Avenue and
Roosevelt and where's the other one? Roosevelt and
5th Street.
Roosevelt and 5th Street. So anyway, so we asked, we were just in there, bullshit, and we said, hey, what have you guys been going through? And we were talking about what it's like being a business owner there and stuff. And fuck, man, like I couldn't imagine going through that right now. I couldn't imagine going through that. So I don't know. I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah,
well, the riots and shit, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know, because if you're a business owner, you got to fucking either go on the rooftop with a gun or just hope your fucking shit doesn't get torn down.
And the people that, here's one of the crazy things that I wanted to say. One of the good videos that I reposted was that video of, there was a bunch of cops, and then there was the protesters, and this protester, this white kid, ran up. He had, the whole Antifa getup on, and he started hitting the sidewalk with a sledgehammer to break these rocks up to start throwing at the cops. And the fucking protesters went and grabbed the kid, saw what he was doing, saw the bullshit he was trying to pull, the fucking thuggery he was trying to pull, and fucking grabbed him and walked him over to the cops. That type of shit. Well, we need to be posting more of that type of shit. Yeah, post the bad shit too, because that bad shit needs to be known. It needs to be seen. We need to talk about it. We need to stop the people who are perpetrating the bad shit. Whether we have to talk about it somehow, and it needs to be in the conversation. But again, we also need to post the good shit, because the good shit's happening too. And I told Keith the other day that I think right now, and I told my brothers too, I think right now we're at a very hairpin trigger of a moment where we can go one way or the other. 90% of that is going to go towards the way of people just going completely crazy and just fucking everything that we've worked so hard for up. But there's a 10% chance that we might go the other way of people saying, no, this is how we do it the right way. And all of a sudden that happens, and that changes our evolution to, some of these 0-point civilizations that Michio Kaku talks to, where in order to truly transcend, from the ape mind, we have to be able to have empathy and to be able to, think in a different way. And that hopefully something like that will happen. But I doubt it. I will probably get more misunderstandings and less people wanting to talk and more craziness. But yeah, so that was the last couple days. Very interesting stuff.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about it?
No, that's about it.
All right.
What else is going on? It was kind of fun to get out today for the first time in a long time. We went out and just went and got something to eat I think that's only the second time that I've been out to get something to eat. We were talking about it earlier. Only the second time we've been out to get something to grub on in a long time.
This is the first time I ate out.
First time? Yeah. It's crazy shit, man. So big shout out to, here's some craziness. So I don't know if I talked about it on the show. I showed Keith the other day. I had a guy hit a $7,000 card on one of the box pulls I did. And I finally shipped it out to him. It cost me $40 to ship it out to him because I had to insure it and stuff. You know what I mean? You got something that expensive. You don't want it to get fucked up.
You lost money on it?
No, I didn't lose money. I made money on it. But, that guy got lucky. He put in, I think he bought 2 spots at $30 a spot. And he hit a, $5,000 to $7,000 card, easy. If it grades
Most people
well.
don't even know what you're talking about.
So what? So I guess the best way to explain it is, I buy old sports cards boxes, unopened sports card boxes, and I give people, who might not want to spend $600 on the whole box, a chance to buy like one pack at a time on some of these boxes that are hard to find, and I open them live on screen, and then I only send out the cards that are worth anything, just because, excuse me, nobody wants any shitty cards just to be, taking up space. So I'll usually only send out like the good ones. So I can make a little money on it. They save a little money, not having to waste a bunch of money, and they still get a chance at getting something good that, if they hit, they can make some money off of. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice to have somebody finally hit a good card on the show.
Was that definitely the biggest one, huh?
I think there's been a lot of big stuff hit. We've hit a Mike Trout auto, which is kind of crazy. We've hit a couple crazy Mike Trout patch cards, like anything Mike Trout right now. I mean, I'm boring a lot of people talking baseball, but man, for a while there, people were talking about baseball cards like stock investments.
Really?
Oh yeah, that Gary.
I can't believe the new shit's worth anything.
So that's the crazy shit. Like the new shit's worth even more now because of the COVID stuff. They've stopped the presses. You know what I mean?
Oh shit! So there's not as many.
So there's not as many, exactly. So people like can't. And if people.
Is that only for certain years, like 2020?
It's only like that.
Or something?
It's only like that right now, just because of what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, which sucks, but it kind of. Like everything else, this whole COVID stuff kind of killed the excitement that was going on around whatever was going on. But anyways, it was nice. It was nice to have somebody finally hit something good, and
is that something you're advertised the spots, or they're already sold out, or?
So to get the spots, I started a Discord server. It's called Clutch Collectibles. If anybody wants to get in on it, hit me up on Instagram, and I'll send you an invite. Like the invites for the Discord servers are like timed. So
what's Discord again?
Discord is like from what I can tell, it's almost like a chat forum type thing for like Twitch. A lot of people use it for Twitch.
To play like video and audio for an audience.
Yeah, for an audience, and it also has like a live chat going on.
Oh, some podcasts use that, don't they?
Yeah, I think Grimace uses it.
Oh yeah.
Grimace and Lindsay use it. So yeah, it's pretty popular, and we just
that's what you use.
Yeah, that's what we use is the Discord server, but we don't use it for video games. I mean, some of the guys play video games on there. It's really cool. It's integrated, so it like can tell what you are doing, and it will, if it's integrated through the Discord server, people can join you and watch you and play with you. And
oh, nice. So
people do like Halo or like Call of Duty. They're always playing Call of Duty and shit. But anyways, we started it up to do these group breaks and also sell stuff, buy, sell, and trade. Like,
so if you don't have Discord, you can't get in on the
yeah, and anybody can download Discord. It's free, and it's really easy to use. Once it seems like a pain in the ass to use at first, but it's really easy. It just looks that way. You know what I mean? So it looks what? It looks like it's kind of hard to use.
Oh yeah, but it's
user
friendly.
It's very easy to use once you get like a couple things down. But yeah, it's nice because then it creates like a community of people that are looking for the same things, same shit. So you can sell shit. You know what I mean? A lot of people are putting up, graded comic books to, for they trade into, and like, hey, I got this available for trade. Has anybody got anything cool for trade? Or hey, I've got $1,000 in PayPal PayPal money. Anybody got anything cool for sale right now? This is what I'm looking for. This is who I'm into.
Must be like so much easier to get books than compared to like the 90s.
It dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like you just get whatever, whenever, however.
We were just talking about that, and it's funny because
like before eBay and internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
you had comic shops that were honey holes, and we just drove
by.
How
the fuck do you find some rare comic? Like you just have to like write a comic shop?
Now,
or like did they have magazines or something? Or?
Now it's very, very rare to find a rare comic out while looking through stuff. Majority of people that find those rare comics they've been looking for years is networking within the comic community.
90s. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and it's still the same for really hard to find comics. You know what I mean? Like Golden Age comics from the.
What I'm trying to say is like, say you want number one of this, blah blah blah. but it's in another country, you can just go on eBay and buy it. But before,
Yes, you're right.
you can't.
You couldn't do that.
You
You had
just
to know somebody in the
know
other
somebody
country who
and hope they're gonna fucking even ship it to you.
Yeah, you would send them your
Some
want
money
list.
order.
Yeah, money order.
Or a fucking what's that? The
Cashier's check.
No, where you wire it and shit.
Yeah, wire transfer. Yeah, so it's very cool. And matter of fact, it's funny because a lot of the guys who are on this Discord server are really into foreign comics from like Brazil and fucking, Middle East and Russia. And so they're actually dealing with that. So there's a lot of people, there's people from Australia that are part of the server. There's all these different people from around the world. And that's the fucking craziest part is that you're right. Like back then, it was impossible for somebody if you wanted to get a book from this country, like unless you had connects like a drug dealer or something, you weren't getting those books, dude.
Yeah, but like people's collections are probably better than ever. Like
Oh,
everybody's,
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. Yeah, and like you said, it's so much easier to get almost anything you want. But
doesn't that like bring the value down because it has
Yes.
such easily accessibility?
Yes, but it also works the other way sometimes. If somebody sees that a book sells for a lot and there's not a lot of those books out there, it causes those books to shoot up because then somebody goes, holy shit, I got one. I'm going to sell it for more. And then, so you get these like lower print run books, these niche books. Like there's certain Spawn books from like the 150s to the 240s. Their print run was like 6,000 comics, you know what I mean? Instead of 20,000 or 30,000.
They do that on purpose
100,000.
to give it value?
No, the reason they were doing it is probably
like
because
production
Image
reasons?
wasn't making as good of money that time, so they
Oh.
couldn't print as many.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So those books right now are skyrocketing in price because they're hard to
I
find.
feel like I had the first 200 at one point.
Oh my god, dude! Like those things are ridiculous. Out like some of those books are selling for like $400 or $500. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy what some books sell for price-wise for being a lot of money, and it's crazy what some books sell for, like that should sell for a lot, and they're selling for way less. You have no idea. Like the market is super volatile. Like, and you don't know sometimes. You would think a book would go for way more than it goes for, and vice versa at the same time. There's books that are going for money. Like you're like, how the fuck is this book selling for that much? Somebody will talk about a rumor about some movie that might come out or some book that is thinking about getting optioned. And all of a sudden, that book is selling for like 3,000% more than it sold for the week before.
Yeah.
Like that. And the people that get those books up there on the market first, those people are making good money, you know what I mean? Because then once people start seeing that it's selling, oh, I got one of those, and they put it up and they call it the hater wave, because then they start bringing your value of what you could sell it for down. Whereas if they put it up for the same price, then everybody wins. But you got to get your money, which it's good to think about that on a sales level, I guess, in both ways. So fuck that. I don't deal with that shit. I waste too much time and forget to put shit up on eBay when I should, and
When it's worth something.
and then when it's worth something, and then I put it up and it's not
never,
worth it.
and then it's never worth that again.
Yeah. Shout out to the Absolute Geek Crew. I did sell like $500 worth of comics on Saturday, which was nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, that
Congrats.
was fucking cool. Yeah.
Right on. Well,
Any shout outs?
just Nice Dream CBD.
Nice Dream. Shout out to Nice Dream CBD. Hell yeah. My parents are using Nice Dream CBD, the pain CBD cream, and they fucking love it.
Paw Putty.
Paw Putty. Shout out Hempful Farms, Paw Putty. Shout out Mellow by Design CBD. Let's see here. Definitely shout out, Bud's Glass Joint. Make sure you guys go check that place out.
If anybody wants stickers, we got a bunch new ones, so just hit us up and we'll send you a free one, especially if you're subscribed to the channel. So we got these cool ones here.
Get a hold of us on Instagram or something if you want it.
So, but I was thinking, call it short on this one. Just
fuck yeah! I just wanted to.
We were in heat all day.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to, say my piece on that craziness. Waking up to see those messages this morning, I just thought it was kind of funny, and I just wanted to say, like, you guys know me. If you know who I am, I'm against violence of any kind, but I'm also against enlightenment. So, we got to have conversations, and we got to, including myself, we got to be able to say, you know what, you're right, and I've never thought of it that way, and I'm open to a change of mind. But other than that, sativas for pussies.
Are we ever gonna explain that rant? What that's from?
I don't think we should.
Really?
I think we should just leave it until the shirt comes out.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So if you want the Sativa for Pussy shirt, make sure you hit us up.
And yeah, that is a wrap. Is there anything else, McClay?
And make sure you watch Tales from the Flip Side on YouTube and Absolute Geek Podcast on YouTube.
Sweet. And if you're interested in Siberian Huskies, you can check out my dog Fabius's new channel.
Yeah.
He has a YouTube channel now.
Fuck yeah. Make sure you guys check it out.
If you want, I guess I'll promote that. I'm that guy now. Anyway, that's a wrap on episode 85 of the Bogcast.
Bang!